Hey Facebook, it's 9:30 or thereabouts, and as promised we're doing a smoky eye tutorial tonight. So I have the results from the poll I did earlier. I asked you guys, I showed you 4 different smoky eye looks because you can do a smoky eye with everything from a light purple or a soft gold to a deep dark brown to a black. So I thought I would talk while we're waiting for people to jump on. Hi Sarah. About what the basic elements of a smoky eye are. So the deal is you color in all the way around the eye. You can highlight in this corner here, but you're going to take away the pink on the membrane with some color. It can even be just a soft flesh brown color. You're gonna take it away here and you're gonna smudge here and you're gonna cover from opening to closing on the lid in liner. And you can do that with a small amount or you can really take it big. So most of you agreed that you wanted to see the picture of Drew Barrymore that I put up. Let me see if I can find it quickly. Okay, so here she is. Let's see if we can get on that. Probably not going to be able to do a close-up. There we go, a little bit closer. That is a fairly soft smoky eye, but it's still quite a bit of makeup and a very heavy lash line. You can see where her, right along the upper lash line, it's very heavy and dark, and the smokiness around it is fairly soft. There's probably a little bit of purple or mauve-y colors in there. I'm gonna stick with browns. Hi Vanessa. Hi Christy, thanks for joining in. Hi Derek, I didn't forget you. Jim is creeping into. He's required creeping. Okay, so we're gonna try to attempt that look. I did my hair kind of back. I've already done my foundation. When you're doing a smoky eye, it's best to have a full face of foundation. This is not the time to try to get away with a tinted moisturizer or just concealer and bronzer or something like that. It's really more cohesive if you have a whole face of makeup. So I started with the primer, then I did foundation, then I did heavy concealer. I went over this about 3 times to get this nice white triangle, or not white, but light triangle right here. And I highlighted a little bit on the nose, contoured a bit, and contoured here, 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 all the places that we've talked about contouring. And then instead of using a heavy blush, I used our number 6 Glow blush that is very light in color, but it has some shimmer to it right here. So it has a tiny bit of pink to it, but nothing compared to these. So this is that one that Oprah's makeup artist goes on and on about. Says everybody needs it, and it really does look good on every skin color. Okay, so hi Megan. Yes, we're doing your favorite. And you can always take this a little bit darker, but we're gonna go ahead and jump in and go for it. I'm using my little mirror up close because this is some finite work that we're doing. We're doing some detail work here. So we wanna make sure that we have a mirror that you can really pull close up to you. This is not something you want to attempt to do in your bathroom over the mirror with your hand, waving in the air like this. You really need to be grounded. You need to be sitting down at a proper vanity or at least your dining room table or something like that. All right, have my super duper makeup brushes ready to rock and roll. Slide everything into place. I have a new palette of eyeshadows. Jealous? You can have them too. And I also have some new browns. Very excited about that. So this is the perfect night to showcase them. I have a nude lip based on the picture, and we're gonna rock and roll. I'm gonna use a fat blush brush. It doesn't really matter which one you use. You've seen me use any of these, as long as you can get it into the corner here, but we're going to be doing the brow bone and stuff first. So take any one of those brushes that you like. You're going to use your Shell Pink number 41 right here. If you don't have this, buy it. But until you get it, just make sure that you're using a matte color, nothing with any shimmer, not even any pearlescence to it whatsoever. It really needs to be a very matte color, and it's difficult to find light shades that are matte that also have enough pigment to do this. You see that? Like you can, it's like a marker. That's how heavily pigmented it is, which saves you product and a tremendous amount of time. I also have primer on my lids. The primer that I'm using is simply our concealer. I'm gonna go straight in here on the nose, or the tear duct, whatever you wanna call this. Hi Dixie, thank you. So we're gonna get this highlighted. On this side, we're gonna take the other hand, go right in here, kind of roll it around. You can kind of see it coming to life a little bit. Just wipe off anything that gets out of control. I am using my left hand, so anything is possible. Sweep it over the lid and just pretty much get everything but the crease. All right, so that's a good base for what we're gonna start on. The next brush that we're gonna use, and I highly recommend something like this if you're going to do a smoky eye on a regular basis. It's a good idea to invest, excuse me, I did get a new light, but I haven't quite gotten intimate with it yet. This is a precision brush. It's nice and tight and domed. It's not real fluffy, so it's going to be really good at getting a larger amount of makeup in a very specific area. So it's not for blending, and it also works great as a smudger. Thank you, I love my new light too. Can y'all see those little rings around my pupil? That's the magic of the ring light. It's unbelievable. Okay, it'll make you fall in love with yourself all over again. Okay, soft brown. I have two different colors here. This one has a little bit more gray to it. This one has a little bit more of those purple undertones, so we're gonna use that to stay true to the picture. I'm gonna take and swipe across it. That's it for now. This is so highly, highly pigmented that you can't just go brushing around it. It's gonna get all over your face and you'll have makeup poop. Okay, we're gonna go right in and we're just going to pack it on the lid. It's not going to go on evenly at first. You're going to have to go back and forth, back and forth. If you're looking for this to be a quick fix where you're just going to sweep it on, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen well. Okay, so I'm patting and pushing. This is called packing. And now I'm going to turn and go this way. If I keep trying to place this on this outer stuff, I'm going to end up with a big tail over here. So once you get down to this area out here, you want to start pushing it in and packing it toward that direction. The nose direction, not that direction, sorry. Okay, we're just going for a nice thick dark line from corner to corner. Don't forget this little area right in here. Most people start at the first lash and forget all about this whole 1/4 inch of real estate right there. Don't cut yourself short. So now we have just a line, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, then we're gonna go back and perfect it. Push and pull. Ground your hand on your face if you need to. That'll help you be a little bit more sturdy. Make sure that you're not trying to come in from the top and do it like this. So did any of you actually prepare and like get your makeup ready to like do this with me? I bet you didn't. Amateurs. I love you. Okay, so it's not near as nice and neat as the other one because this is my left eye, but that's okay. We have nice, deep, dark color from one side to the other. You don't want a lighter version where it's softer on one part of the eyelid than it is the other. So it needs to be the same depth of color all the way across. Okay, so now that's our first step. Now we're gonna go back with a, well, you know what, let's take this a little bit further. Okay, so we're gonna take the whole eyelid area. I'm gonna kind of mark it out. We're gonna kind of color in an almond shape. Okay, we're not going out, we're not doing any funky stuff out here, okay? This is just a very basic smoky eye. So just follow the shape of your eye, start at that corner where you stopped, and you're gonna just kind of give yourself a little guide, right? Everything that is the eyelid, once you are no longer on the eyelid, you wanna stop. You don't want it to go too high, because that's where our crease color goes. Okay, so now we're just coloring in the lines. Some of you are gonna be really good at that. Some of you, not so much. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not blending at this point. We're just filling in the line. One of the misconceptions about a smoky eye is that it makes your eyes look smaller. It does not. It makes your eyelids look smaller. It makes your eye socket look smaller. It makes all the parts of your eyes that nobody really wants to look at go away, so that your eyeball becomes the focus. So if your eyeshadows don't do this, if you can't just simply place eyeshadow and make a little pull and have a nice dark color, it's because your shadows don't have enough pigment. There are other great companies out there. If you don't want to use LimeLight by Alcone, which is the stuff I sell, that is okay. Dropped my product. There are other manufacturers out there that make nice pigmented shadows, but they're kind of hard to find, so just buy mine. All right. Now we're gonna clean off this brush. Any shading that you do, anytime, ever, needs to be with a dry, clean brush. We're not spraying it and cleaning it with soap, just rub it on a little towel. I got these awesome Norwex towels that are like makeup remover towels from my friend Kim Cochran, and they're amazing for cleaning brushes. Okay, so now we have a clean precision brush. And I said I wasn't going to use this to blend, but we're just going to do the top line. So we're just going to go over this so it's light pressure, high friction, meaning we're moving fast back and forth, but I'm not taking it off of my eye. It's one point of contact, sliding back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Once you get out to this area, stop, because any detailed blending needs to go toward the nose. When you get on the outside, you're going to end up with a tail. So now this one, you can't really tell where the dark color stops and starts, but on this one you can clearly see a line. So we're going to clean off the brush again. High friction, low pressure. And we got a little squirrely there. It's okay, your fingers are the greatest erasers ever. Wait, where's my, y'all aren't having wine with me? That's because you didn't prepare, my little Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. When I say I'm doing a tutorial at 9:30, I want candles lit, lights dimmed, makeup out, wine out, and y'all to be participating with me. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay. So now we have a nice soft brown lid. Again, you can do this with any color. It doesn't have to be this brown. This dark of a brown. It can be a whatever. Okay, now we're gonna go to another brush. This one's a little bit angled, but it doesn't really matter. Whatever kind of fluffier brush you have will be just fine. And I'm gonna use my new palette. with these kind of terracotta colors. I'm gonna use this one. So just dot, dot. We're not sweeping, swiping, we're not rolling the brush, just little dot. And then even just give it a little blow. I'm gonna turn this so that it fits inside with the fat part on the outside, or the long parts. So the long part is facing my ear. And I'm gonna go half the brush on top of where the brown starts to end, and half of the brush on my naked lid above that. Does that make sense? Keep the weight of the color out here toward the outside. And you want it to blend and fade as it goes toward the middle. God, y'all, I look like Drew Barrymore already. Which one did I use? This one? Okay. Again, turning the longer part of the brush toward the ear, half of it on the brown, half of it off. Now, when you try this, if you feel like you're poking yourself in the eye with needles, it's because your brushes suck. If makeup goes poof everywhere, it's two things: your brush sucks and your makeup has no pigment. They should be almost creamy feeling. And now look for balance. Back yourself away from your mirror and look and ask yourself, does this kind of balance the other one? And this one is just a little higher with that pink tone up there, so I'm gonna go in and just add a little bit more, because it's always easier to add than it is to take away. There we go. Okay, very nice. Now we're gonna do some work on the bottom. She probably has like 3 or 4 different shades, but we're gonna keep this pretty simple. I'm gonna take my liner brush. You can absolutely use your eyeliner brush to do this look if you don't have that precision brush. It's just gonna take you more time. So you're gonna have to be really patient with yourself, because you're gonna have to make really small little 1/4 inch marks in order to cover your whole lid with that nice dark color. Don't try to use a fat fluffy brush to do that. It'll just make a huge mess. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my browns, but this time, instead of choosing that same dark kind of purplish undertone brown, I'm gonna choose a lighter brown. This one, kind of a milk chocolate cocoa color. I'm gonna put it right on the inside. Oh, the Pastel Me About It is what is on my brow bone, but y'all, I knew you were gonna ask me this, and it's already in the case, and I don't know. I'll have to put it in the comments later. I'm not gonna, if I try to flip it out of there right now, it'll end up on the floor, and gotta stay focused. It's a fairly new color. It's not one I'm terribly familiar with. Okay, so go all the way from tear duct over to here. If you say to yourself, I can't put anything in my tear duct or it'll get all goopy and make a big eye booger. You're right, it will. In about the first 30 minutes to an hour, your eye will pull any powder that gets into it, and it'll work its way to the corner, and then you clean it out, and then you're done. Using a powder on the inside instead of a wax pencil is much better, because the powder will absorb the liquid from your eyes and stay put. And you can see I'm getting it like right on my eyeball. No big deal, you won't die. You might poke yourself in the eye, be temporarily blinded, but you will not die. Okay, so now it's just on there, but we need to do a little bit of work. We don't want a sharp line on the bottom. A smoky eye is just that. It's kind of smoky and smudgy, and I think this is where a lot of mistakes are made with a smoky eye, is people don't really know how to connect the waterline membrane shadow with the under eye, or under lash shadow. Okay, so the trick to that is pretend like your bottom lashes are not there. Okay, just go right over them, pulling whatever's left on your brush and any excess right down. And go as far as you can. One of the great things about doing your makeup on a Tuesday night at 9:30 with me is that there's nowhere to go, and this is the greatest time to make mistakes. I just added a tiny bit of product to the brush, and I'm gonna pull it down in this weird, funky little spot right here. This fatty little caterpillar looking part of your eye. Oh, it's number 6. Thank you, Megan. You're the best. I trust her. She's a fellow LimeLight beauty guide. So is Christy Lester. She's the Katie lady in case you need some makeup in Katie. Okay, so now we have smoky all the way around. Now we gotta do the eye jewelry, okay? And if you thought that was lashes, you're wrong. It is shimmer time. Okay, this is an old product because I haven't gotten my Lottie palette that I won. Y'all, I won a Lottie palette, which is wildly exciting. I scratched my neck because I'm itchy. Don't worry about me. And in it is the most beautiful, shimmery, pale, gold, peachy, pinky color. Megan says, don't trust me. I don't have any of the brushes beside. What? You don't have the brushes? Oh, okay. Megan, we gotta do something about that, girl. All right, so anyway, shimmery color. Now is the time to use your shimmer. So we're gonna use a little bit of just a beige shimmer, and we're gonna go right here, and then right down here, and we're just doing this little area in there. That side looks better, which means this side needs more work. Oh, look at that. You see that point of light? On the apex of every curve is a point of light. So wherever you have shimmer and a curve of your face, which you have unlimited number of curves on your face, you get a point of light. Light finds light. The more light emanating from your face, the more your eyes stand out, because your eyes are wet and they're round completely, any more so than any other part of your face, and so they emanate more light than anything else. Wearing pearl earrings will also make your eyes stand out more, much more than diamonds. They make a triangulation of white between the whites of your eyes, the whites of the earring, and the whites of your teeth. So the whites all find each other. The more whites you have, the more, which is why blonde hide. Anyway, I'm going way too far. We'll get into that in another tutorial. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look at my picture to see if there's anything I'm forgetting. We're definitely gonna do lashes and mascara. I already did my brows because they take forever, and I wanted to have that done so you didn't have to go through the painful process of watching me do that. Okay, so where is she? My lovely little Drew. There she is. Yeah, you know, she's got some shimmer right here where it's not dark. And this is another really fun thing to do with the smoky eye. So you've got the dark going all the way around now, but now you can have some fun and add a little bit. I'm gonna use my precision brush again. You can add a little bit of shimmer right to the apex of the eyelid, and that'll give you a little bit of playful light every time you move or blink or talk to people. I'm gonna bust out one of my old shimmers from Hot Facade when I had my own makeup line, which was a retail disaster. Okay, so a little bit of shimmer powder. This is just one of those mineral shimmer powders. It doesn't really have to be anything too special. We're just gonna put some, packing it on. It's very delicate stuff. And this gives her a little bit more of an ethereal look. It's a little bit more friendly to have that little bit of play right there, and a little less glammy, vampy. Okay, whatever you do, don't leave it looking like that, okay? Just take your brush and keep working it until it's soft. Try to keep it off of the dark brown liner that's closest to your eyes. And if you have to, just wipe off any bits that get onto the brown. Okay, tad bit more right here. There we go. Now when we blink, we've got a lot of play. Okay, and then she has also taken and done quite a bit more down below the line. So I'm just gonna push it because it's late, I'm not going anywhere, and why not, right? So I'm gonna take the lighter of those pinky colors, this one, and just gonna go, wow, that's really far. So we can fix it if we decide, oh crap, that's a disaster. But perfect sits right next to disaster. So if you never find disaster, you'll never know where perfect is. I think this one looks better. This one's a little goth. So I'm gonna take my trusty dusty concealer brush, which I don't use for concealer at all, but I use it as an eraser. So I keep some concealer in there and just take some of that off. Yeah, can you see the difference that made? Hi, Jessica. Tell me if you can really tell the shape of my eyes has changed quite a bit since adding that last layer of pink. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes, another big mistake that people make when they do a smoky eye, is that they just don't go far enough down. And I don't usually either, so I think this is a really good learning opportunity, pushing myself a little bit. God, I look like I have hives. Anyway, focus on my face. Okay, so lashes. Who is on, hi Laura, that saw me totally fail at putting on lashes the last time I tried to do it? Give me some hearts if any of you are watching that. It was a totally embarrassing disaster. So I think what I'm gonna do this time is try to use the sticky stuff that's already on the lashes and not put my mascara on first. I learned my lesson. All right. So last time, y'all, I totally had the lash like this. And people, and my sweet friend Kelly was like, I love that you kept trying. I wasn't gonna let it go, that's for sure. So we're gonna see if I can get this to stick. I like to use a liner brush to kind of help poke it down. Close up, y'all, this looks really, really pretty. This light kind of blows out any detail, so it's probably difficult for you to see. And of course, it's not going to stick without some glue, so I'm gonna have to go for it. And this is a great time to talk about how to put eyelash adhesive on your eyelashes. How many of you have ever worn fake lashes? Give me some hearts if you wear fake lashes regularly, or you've ever worn them not on Halloween. Anyone? Is anyone still watching? Should I just go to bed? Are y'all there? Live is so much fun. Now respond. Tell me if you've ever worn fake lashes on any occasion other than Halloween. None of you? This isn't looking good, guys. Girls. There we go. Thank you, Megan. All right, so black, dark, Vanessa really didn't have you pegged for an eyelash kind of girl anyway. We're gonna take and put a really thin layer all the way across. And if you get what you think might be too much, just take your finger and swipe it across and remove it. Then blow to kind of get it tacky. So eyelash adhesive, when it's wet, is very much like glue, but as it dries, it becomes rubberized and it stretches. So while it's drying on your eye, it feels incredibly weird. Once it's dry, and it takes a good 10 minutes to totally cure, you won't even know it's there unless you put it on wrong. Okay, get my, so Aaron told me to do this looking down with the mirror on the table. Don't imagine any of y'all have tried that since only Megan has ever worn them. There we go. Now, without mascara on, you can see quite a big difference between my little blonde lashes and these. And that is okay. All right, other side. I did trim these. The lashes I'm using are Ardell number 162. They're a little more full and wispy, and I did trim two little sections, or two little families, little lash families off of the end of each one so that they would fit my eye a little bit better. They always come with a little bit of adhesive on them so that they stick to that little tray. So you can kind of set it on your eye to see if it's a little too long. It would probably fit, but you don't want it all the way down in the corner, and then every time you blink, it'll just poke you. Hi Pamela, I don't think we've met before. Where are you from? All right, so I've got to use this, not my camera. And that one actually worked fine without me using my liner brush. Okay. Yep, I look just like Drew Barrymore. Okay, not really. But a distant cousin, probably. Okay, mascara. World's Best Mascara, right here. LimeLight by Alcone, it's $18. If I've ever done your makeup before, you know that I love me some L'Oreal Voluminous Original Formula. It's the only thing I found that I like better. Not just as much, but actually better. So I'm going to go in and mostly focus on my lashes underneath. I don't really need to elongate or blacken the falsies. You want to pay attention to the ones in the corner. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I switched hands. I'm holding my hand against my body, and I'm basically just putting my face onto the brush. That way, I get the same angle with the brush on one eye as you do the other. If you try to take this arm and try to do this eye, some of your lashes are just not going to get the full benefit of the shape of the brush. All right, now I'm going to take my cheese cutter, my eyeliner brush, scrape off a little bit of mascara, and just paint the bottom lashes. Kind of have to go back and forth on them. It doesn't really work to paint them this way. My philosophy on bottom lashes is that they really don't need to be longer and fatter and all that. They just need to be black. They just need to not reflect light. They need to absorb light. Okay. Now that I have lashes on, I can see that I can take that pale pink color and move it up quite a bit because I have the support of those lashes. So This is where we just start playing and having fun. Hi, Karen. Karen, I love you. Please keep your mouth shut about how we know each other. Big secret, you guys. But I will just say that Karen and I learned makeup at the same place. Okay. We're just gonna go in here and fatten this up a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more. You can always keep adding, but you really can't take away. And now my brush is no longer in the crease. We've talked about the crease before and how the brush kind of fits in above the eyeball and rests on top of it. Now I'm on the underneath part of my brow bone. That's where I'm extending my crease and making it look higher up, because there's just too much real estate right here. We don't need quite that much. And I'm going to bring it into the corner just a little bit more too. You see the big difference that that does? It's really making the inside of the nose a little sharper than this side. Bring that in. And I would say this is a little bit more of an advanced technique, and for someone who really doesn't mind wearing kind of what people would consider a lot of makeup. But you can do a smoky eye and keep everything nice and tight around the lash line. But for the inspiration picture, I'm going to just push it a little bit. And I really like that. I think it looks a lot softer. Now I've got to go in and fill in. You see, I can tell where the lash starts, and then there's no liner here. So to make that look a little bit more cohesive, I'm going to take some black shadow. We didn't use any black earlier. We only used that dark brown. But I'm going to use this little brush. See, seriously, I use every single brush in my brush set. And this one is made just perfect for fitting into those awkward little spots. There, now it looks a little bit more natural. Actually, I'm going to come in this way. All right. Okay. Got a little bit of cleanup to do from makeup. I should have layered on a little bit of powder, but I didn't. So I'm paying for it now. I'm going to go back in with my concealer brush, and you always, to do cleanup, you go toward the nose with quite a bit of pressure. Sorry, that's not a mirror. It's not going to do me much good. Okay. And getting a little warm in here, I'm sweating, and I've had a glass of wine, which always makes me turn flush for some reason. Okay, so the last little thing I wanted to add that makes this look complete is the tiniest bit of blush in just the right color. You'll know how I feel about my blush palette. All right, so I'm just gonna give myself a little bit right here, and that's going to help create focus on this inner triangle right here, the eyes and the mouth. All right, that completes the look. I wanted to show you just a little bit about this light. Okay, so I can turn it down. This is as low as it goes, which you can see I still have a lot of shadows. If I go up a little bit, that's more of a natural lighting look. And I can keep going up until, ooh, that's really creepy. Now I just don't have any flaws. Sort of a Halloween look. Anyway, I love my light. And I'm liking this look. I'm glad that y'all chose this. Let me see if I can pull it up one more time to show everybody that popped in too late. Let's see. Karen, does anybody call you Karen Showy Moshi anymore? Does anyone even know how to pronounce Showy Moshi? I bet nobody knows how to spell it. I'm not sure I do either, but those were some fun days, girl. Okay. Here she is. This was our inspiration picture right here. So there we go. Can't see that, can you? There it is. All right, so I'll do a photo and see if I can't do kind of a side-by-side to show you how we accomplish that look. And let's do this sometime again. It was really fun. Thanks for checking in, and I hope you'll have a lovely rest of your Tuesday evening. We'll see you later.